Okay, everybody, let's welcome the captain of Legion 13, Jon Rahm, and the captain of Torque AGC, Joaquín Niemann. These are the only two players who are mathematically eligible to win the 2024 individual championship at the end of this week, with only a 3-point difference between the two. Welcome, guys. So, Jon, this is obviously your first season on LIV, and you have one win and finished inside the top 10 of every event that you played. Did you have this as a goal heading into this year, and are you surprised by your performance?
Yeah, this was the goal, to have a chance to win and hopefully win. Joaquín's played fantastic all year, so to just be in this position means that I've done pretty well myself. And expectations are hard. Was it the goal? Yes, you never know how you're going to play. So I'm very happy that in the second half of the season I've played a little bit better than I did early on, even though I still played pretty good golf early. So I'm happy to be in this position and very excited to start the week, because it's going to be a special one for one of us too.
And Joaquín, you started out the year really strong with 2 wins, one in Mexico, one in Jeddah, and then you had the round of 59. So how do you feel that your game is now compared to the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good. The start of the season, the first half, I'll say, yeah, I mean, I play amazing, winning 2 tournaments at the start. And then, yeah, I mean, down the last part, I haven't been the best, but I feel like it's getting there, and to be in this position, the last tournament is pretty special.
And do you guys, is there an extra set of nerves this week, teeing it up? Do you guys feel like there's a lot at stake?
Yeah, I mean, there is obviously a big goal for the season this week. I mean, one of my goals was to win the season, and yeah, I mean, it's all come down to the last week. So yeah, I mean, there is a little extra pressure, which I feel like is nice. It's part of the sport and being competitive, and for me, yeah, it fits me in a good way to get better, to work harder, and to be more ready for that position.
And Jon?
I agree with what he said. Yeah, I mean, I think you would be lying to yourself if you said there's nothing extra, right? We're all aware it's the last event. And for the two of us, obviously, we both want to win. Anybody wants to win. So I also believe that being able to be in this position and having those extra nerves is a privilege, right? We're the only two in the entire league that are going to be feeling like that this week. So, yeah, you have to embrace it and compete and still try to win, but knowing that there's a lot more at stake if that doesn't happen.
So I don't know if you guys are aware, but you guys each get a championship ring if you win, which is obviously unique to golf. It's prevalent in other sports. I'm going to read you some information about the ring that you guys would get to take home. It has 5.78 carats of white diamonds, has 1.2 carats of natural green emeralds, has green glow-in-the-dark UV enamel detailing. It has a concealed ball marker with an embossed QR code. The QR code permalinks to the video reel of your winning moment, so the winner can relive and share their victory anytime that they wish. And it also has 1 carat of black diamonds, 14 karat gold weight of 84.8 grams. How cool would it be to take this home, Waco?
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Probably my wife won't be happy knowing that my ring will have more gold. Yeah, no, I feel like it's pretty special. It's a little different than other trophies, so yeah, I mean, it will be pretty cool to have an extra ring.
Jon?
I'm trying to picture what it looks like right now, and I can't get that in my mind. So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but honestly, who cares what it is as long as you're the one that has it, right? That's, I think, what most of us would be thinking.
I'm sure your kids will love scanning the QR code and watching your winning
they're
moment.
too young right now to be scanning anything, but I try to keep a lot of that part of my life away from them right now. They're still a little too young.
Okay, so obviously we talked about the individual championship, but this event also determines the top 24 players in the lock zone, which get locked into your teams for the next year. And also the players in the DZ, which is the drop zone that get relegated out of the league. So there's a lot at stake, not only for you guys, but for some of your players on your team who are at risk for relegation. So I'm just curious what type of questions or conversations you guys are having as a team in the locker room together this week as we head into the final event. Jon?
I personally am never going to be the guy that would approach the player and start asking questions. I understand, especially during the week already being here, I don't want to add to whatever he may be feeling. So if there's any questions or advice that he needs, I'll be there. I'll support him in any way. But I feel like if I went up to him right now, I'll just be adding on to the moment, right? Obviously, they're aware of what they need to do. They're aware of what they need to finish at to have a chance to get out of that relegation zone. So this late in the season, I'll leave it up to them. And maybe if I see that they're a little nervous, I'll try to calm them down in different ways. But I try to let them be the ones that come to me if they have any questions.
And Wako?
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I feel the same way. Obviously, they're going to have a little extra pressure, but I think it all comes down to them. They all know where they chasing the way they work every day, and I mean, obviously, it's not a great situation to be honest, but yeah, like Jon said, I'm not going to be there and ask him, hey, you're in this situation, you got to do something. I mean, they all know what they're doing. They're all trying to get better. And yeah, I mean, on our team, we're all trying to help each other. So is there anything we can do to help and to get him get better? We're going to do it, and we're here. So they all know that, and yeah, we're here to get better. And yeah, I feel pretty confident that Mito's game is getting better. He's getting a lot confident with his new putter technique, and yeah, he's going to be all right.
On the topic of relegation, when you look at the standings, there are currently several captains that are at risk for relegation, which is new for LIV Golf. Amongst the players, is there a different vibe this week, given what's at stake across the board?
I don't know. You might be asking the wrong two players. Yeah, I think our mind is on something else. So, you especially Torque. I don't know how close they are to clinching the third spot, to have a bye day in Dallas. So you're probably thinking about other things other than that. I have mixed feelings about the topic of captains and relegancy. There's a lot of ways to look at it, right? You're a captain, maybe you should have some sort of safety net, but at the same time, if you are a captain, you're supposed to be a leader, maybe play better, right? So I'm not sure if I've made up my mind yet, right? But I do, in this sport, in sports in general, right? You try to feel like you earn everything you accomplish, and if you don't play well enough, things are not going to usually go your way. So we know, at least in many leagues and in Europe, where you don't play good, you get relegated. So there is an element of excitement to that as well, that even a captain can have a bad year and just not be there, right? So it's not as safety and comfortable as many people make it sound.
Wako?
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation too. I do feel like if you're a captain, you're always trying to to bring the best for the team, and I think being a captain means that you're just wanting everything, and you want the team that is playing the best. So I mean, it could be the case that if he's not playing good enough, you might find someone else that do better and still try to support the team. But yeah, I mean, there could be different ways, but yeah, it's a tough position to be on it. And yeah, I mean, I feel like in golf, we're always competing and trying to be in a better position and trying to win. And yeah, I mean, that's a different situation, and I don't think anybody would like to be there. So yeah, what they have to do is just, I mean, work harder, play better, or yeah, just find a way to improve.
And last one for me, as captains, have you guys started thinking about the off season and what that could look like for your team in 2025? Obviously, certain players will be free agents. There's the possibility for recruitment. There's player pathways from LIV Golf Promotions. Have you guys given any thought to that as the trade window, I believe, opens after Dallas?
I mean, for me, my team is looking pretty solid. I like how is my setup. I feel like we obviously we haven't played our best as team during the season. We still obviously 2 weeks from the end, and we still can make something happen. I feel like Dallas is the main week, and where we gotta play good. And there's a lot of stake this week to get that bye. But if not, there's still also a big chance for us to win. So yeah, I mean there's a lot of golf to play, and for us the off season is a good way to prepare ourselves and try to improve. But yeah, I mean I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen on the other teams.
Jon?
I've given it a little bit of thought, but not a lot. My mind right now, past Dallas, is more preoccupied with the birth of my daughter than anything else. So I know Jeff has been thinking about it and the possibilities. I haven't. Obviously, a lot depends on what happens this week, because if Kieran doesn't have a good week, then yeah, we're gonna have to think about some possible moves. So, you never know. You never know what may happen. But I am intrigued as well, as my first off season and trade world experience for LIV Golf. I am interested in seeing what may happen. I've heard rumors of different interests from teams and different players. Some of my players, which, with the year we've had, I hope they don't want to go anywhere. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see what happens.
Great, thank you guys.
So, is this the biggest sports showdown between your two countries since the 2014 World Cup?
I don't even know when. Well, the 2014 World Cup didn't fare very well for us, so I can't remember many sporting events where Chile and Spain actually get to go at each other. So I don't know if it would fulfill that higher caliber, but we're certainly excited for it, right? I mean, it's not really the countries behind it like it would be in the World Cup, but I guess the situation. I think it's very good for Hispanic golf in general. The fact that you have two Spanish-speaking men competing for the title, I think it says a lot, right? I think you can inspire a lot of people, both in Latin America and in Spain.
Waco, you were 15 at the time.
I was trying to. I didn't know. I didn't get the question.
It's okay. I'm just curious, when was the first time you guys met? Do you recall that? I think you guys played the 2017 U.S. Open. Might have been the first tournament you were in the same field.
2017. No, I played U.S. Open in 2017, but I was an amateur. I mean, I don't playing us together. I think the first time we played together, we might be here, or
paired together. No, we played a practice run at Augusta for sure. With Sergio. I don't know if we were paired in the tournament together before. It's hard to remember. That 17 U.S. Open wasn't it? That was Aaron Hills.
Too many golf runs.
Yeah, it's too many. I couldn't pinpoint exactly when the first time. But paired together in the tournament round, yeah, it might have been first round of Mayakoba. So that I can remember.
I think I don't remember. We played in Shadow Creek.
We played Shadow.
We played Shadow
Yeah,
Creek.
I played so bad I deleted that.
I remember you were a little pissed. I remember that.
Right. I think my basic level on the golf course, no matter what, is a little pissed, and then it just goes up from there. Shadow, yeah, I mean maybe Shadow. I don't remember.
A few years ago.
So, Jon, what would a season-long title mean, and how you personally view your season, and maybe how others will view your season this year?
I can't get too concerned about what others think, to be fair. It's hard to answer these questions. I always say, if I do get it done on Sunday, ask me then, because right now it's all hypothetical, right? Obviously, it would be a great accomplishment to come in on my first season and win it. It is the goal, but it's not easy to do, especially with how great players like Joaquín have played, right? So it's even just getting to this point has been a good year. I think overall, what I felt like I've played and maybe what I've read on the media of how I've been playing hasn't matched what I was feeling, right? I think I was playing better golf than I was giving credit for. And I think on the second half of the season from the U.S. Open on, I think I've played and has been spoken of is matched, right, in the sense of my game has been in the same level people have been talking about. So it's a bit of two tails, but I've been comfortable. Hasn't been my best year, but this summer has been really, really good to me, and hopefully I can keep it going towards the end of the season.
And Waco, you guys, as you mentioned, still have a chance to move into the third spot and earn a bye. How much have you guys talked about it this week? And how important is it to get that bye?
Yeah, I mean, we know it's important. I think there's a few things that has to happen, us winning, and then a few other teams not doing that great. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that need to happen, but we still feel pretty good knowing that, I mean, worst case scenario, we gotta play an extra day, match play against another team, which I feel like is a pretty good format for us. We got 4 strong players for match play. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I look at it that way. If we make it through, we make it through. If not, we just gonna have to have more fun during one more day. So it'll be fun, whatever comes.
And my last question, obviously, you guys are still in your 20s, still evolving as golfers. What's the thing that you feel like you've improved on the most this season? Jon?
I got 2 months of being on my 20s left, so.
I was giving you some credit.
Right question, right time.
Yeah. I was thinking about that was the second half of the question, sorry.
What's the thing that you feel like you've improved on the most, evolved as a golfer this season?
This season? There's so many aspects to look at, right? There's obviously some changes when you come to LIV Golf to adapt to, but and a lot as a captain, so it's hard to say one without disclosing too much of what I do, of what I would like to share, right? So there's just some things mentally that I think I've started to improve throughout the season, and probably the reason why I've been closer to winning on the last 3-4 events in general. But it's almost like either too broad an answer that I can give you, way too specific, where I don't want to dive into the details too much. So it's hard to answer that.
For me, I feel like it's been a big change since I came to LIV Golf, especially because of my team. I feel like I've been able to listen a little more and try to understand what other people do things better, and being able to have 3 other guys there that do really good stuff during the day, and not just golf in general. Being able to learn that and try to apply it into my life, it's been really helpful, and yeah, it's been helped me to grow a lot the last 2 years. So I feel like looking at it that way, it's been great being around a good team.
Hey guys, Dan from Sports Illustrated here. I just got to say, over the years, it's been so fun to watch you guys. I mean, from the competitive nature and the artistic style to your gameplay, that it's been a joy, and now to get to the end of another season is just, again, an absolute pleasure. But kind of looking back, we'll go historically. When you guys achieve a win in your career, how do you process that? Is there a prize awaiting for you, something that you treat yourself? Is it raise the trophy, set it back down, and grind tomorrow morning? I'm just curious, is there something to that? When you achieve a win in your career, what follows that for you?
I mean, I try to look at the way that winning a golf tournament, winning a trophy is just a trophy. I feel like for us, we got a long career, and we try to improve every day, try to improve every aspect of our game and of our life. And winning a golf tournament, I feel like obviously it brings a lot of attention, and you do what you expect to do. But I feel like it's a good learning point to see what kind of stuff you're doing right, what kind of stuff you're not doing right, and it's a good process to learn a lot. But yeah, I mean, I try to look at the way it's just a trophy. I feel like there's a few times before that I won, and I felt like I made it, and it's not that way. I still need to recover the next day. I need to sleep next day. I need to get up and work again and do everything again. So yeah, I mean, I feel like winning is, it's just a name. It just doesn't change anything.
I mean, I agree with what he said. It's very, very gratifying and satisfying to see everything you work for happen and get that win. But I feel like in golf, unlike many other sports, for the most part, there's always a next week. Right? Like one of us can win the tournament and the season title this week, and you can't overexert yourself because next week you have the team championship, right? So I feel like this in golf is always a next week coming, which is kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? So this maybe what I've done in the past, if you accomplish something big, you almost have to postpone it until you have time and then celebrate it. Because one of the best advice I ever got was from Rafa Nadal, and it was after winning the Masters, and he told me, make sure you enjoy this moment, make sure you celebrate it, because you don't really know when it's going to come again. Now, when he told me that, I don't know if he was aware that I was playing the week after, 3 days later at Hilton Head, but the week after we had 1 or 2 weeks off, then you can let yourself celebrate it, right? So it's almost like you can pick your spots, enjoy what you've accomplished, but what he said, win or lose, the next day you wake up and you start all over again. The grind doesn't really stop, right? So it's that's what I think can separate golf, but you can see it in other sports where, I mean, Kobe was famous for it. I mean, he might have been the only one, right? But like win or lose an NBA title, take 2 weeks off and start over again, right? So we don't usually have that long enough off season in golf, but I personally have tried to share and enjoy those wins with the people around me.
That's great. Thank you, guys.
Jon, you referenced this a little bit a while ago, a couple minutes ago, but is your recent play, going back to your win, the Open, the Olympics, the close call, Greenbrier, is it comparable to that stretch last year when you won 4 times, including the Masters?
I would like to say yes, but no, because I did win 4 times, including the Masters. So had I won 3 of those events in the Olympics and the Open, maybe I could have compared it, but no. I've enjoyed that month of golf. Was really, really enjoyable. It almost started in Valderrama to play good, finished top 10 in a tough week, 7th at the Open, win JCV, almost get it done at the Olympics, and then Greenbrier. It's been kind of what we were just talking about, seeing what I've been working for this year happen finally. So it's been really enjoyable for me to do. A couple of painful moments in between, but it's what you compete for, right? It's what you practice first to put yourself in those situations. So golf level game-wise, yeah, maybe I've been close to what I did last year early in the year, but still I would say it's maybe a little bit below that.
Also, you mentioned your wife's going to have a baby. Can you tell us where things stand with, I guess the Spanish Open coming up, the Ryder Cup, meeting those commitments? Can you tell us where all that is? Are you going to try to play the 4 or the 3 more that you need, or are you trying to work out something?
Still talking to the DP World Tour. I intend to play in Spain. Yeah.
So, but do you know, is my understanding you're supposed to have to enter by tomorrow? Is that, okay.
Noon in, well, I'm entered to the tournament.
Okay.
We entered a long time ago. Whether they let me play or not is a different thing. I'm not a big fan of the fines. I think I've been outspoken about that. I don't intend to pay the fines, and we keep trying to have a discussion with them about how we can make this happen. I've said many times, I don't go to the Spanish Open for the glory or anything else. I think it's my duty to Spanish golf to be there. And I also want to play in Soto Grande. So at that point, they would almost be doing not only me, but Spanish golf would deserve is by not letting me play. So yeah, that's why we're trying to talk to them and make that happen. I would also love to play the Dunhill. I have a good friend who asked me to play, and Johan's been a great ambassador for the game of golf. So I would love to be able to play all those events.
I'm sorry, the other event you mentioned, is that the other Spain event?
Yeah. Sotogrande
Right.
is the town next to Valderrama. So that's the Andalusia Open or Masters, I think is the name. And it would go Madrid, so Open de España, Dunhill, week off, Sotogrande. And I want to play all of them. I think I might be entered into both of them. We submitted we entered those events, yeah. I mean, and I want to play. That's my intent, is to play.
And not to dive too far into this, but how's Kelly doing, and how does that impact this at all?
She's doing really good. She's doing really good. There was a dark moment there with the pregnancy. When I say moment, it was every bit of 2 months. And I feel like we're coming out of that right now. We're towards the end. Because of the issues we've had, they probably won't let it go past 38 weeks, but she keeps doing better and better, so they keep changing what our deadline is. I think right now, most likely, if a baby doesn't come early, we might try to induce right after Dallas. So it could be a case where I go home, deliver the baby, and then flight Tuesday or Wednesday to Madrid. So I could have a case of flying Thursday morning and teeing off Thursday afternoon. Could have a case of landing there on Wednesday and teeing off Thursday morning, right? So I'm saying right now we have that going on. But if the baby comes early, then we'll see what happens. I probably still would go back home to try to spend some time with them before I'm gone for the other weeks.
And I'm sorry, just one more on this, but is it your understanding you have to play those 4, in other words, 3 more, because the Olympics counted?
Yeah. The Olympics count, so there's those 3. I don't know all the regulations. I know if you play your country's open, counts as 2. If you don't play your country's open event, you need to play 1 more. I believe, could be wrong. It's never really been an issue because I usually play enough and I want to play them. So, but yeah, I think it's not only that I have to play those 3, that I want to play those events. They're fun. My last experience at the Dunhill, I didn't play good, so maybe I'll get a little bit of redemption. Even though being a 4th week in a row after having a baby might be a little much for Scottish weather especially, and Carnoustie. But still looking forward to some really fun golf ahead.
Thank you.
John, about the Rafa Nadal advice, I imagine you get a flurry of texts the night you win the Masters, and you almost don't even get a chance to look at your phone. But then you drive to Hilton Head very quickly. You have to do media immediately. I guess I'm curious, how does Rafa's advice break through all of that noise? Is it obvious because he's Rafa Nadal, or is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain names, like obviously you're going to get a lot of family and friends, and the immediate family, obviously, phone calls, right? Well, my dad was there, but phone calls with my mom and other part of the family, don't even need to respond to the text, really, right? So, but then there's a lot of them that maybe no, you're not going to be able to answer at the moment, but the second you see a name like Rafa Nadal come by, and his was a voice message, I don't know what I was doing, but instantly the second I saw it, I listened to it right away, right? So yeah, there's names like that one, like a Michael Phelps, like Larry Fitzgerald, other great athletes that if they send you a text that they have, yeah, I mean, you want to listen to it, because not only they might be talking from experience, they might give you some great advice in general. But it's funny because you mentioned that. You pick your moments trying to respond, right, to all those people. You're getting hundreds and hundreds of messages, and depending how social you like to be, it might be more. And if you go into social media, it may be even more, which I stay away from that. But it's something that you welcome, but it gets to a point where you can't really respond a personalized message for everybody, right? It gets a little blunt to a lot of friends where you just say thank you and move on to the next.
And then I think for both of you, the discussion about unity in pro golf, men's pro golf, I think there's a bit of an acceptance that it's going to be decided in boardrooms. But I was curious if when you have this match between Bryson, Scotty, Rory, and Brooks, and things like of that nature, are there things as a player on the LIV side that you guys have done or would be interested in doing in kind of getting closer to unity?
God, I'm not sure if I understand the question, but ever since I joined, and I believe before, I've felt like we should do what we can to. We have an opportunity to create a new stage for golf in the world of sports that could be better than what we had before, and I feel like we should take advantage of this situation. So yeah, if there's anything that we could do that needs to be done, I'll be happy to do it. Had I been asked to go play in that match, I don't know the date, but I would have tried to do it because on that time I will be going to Spain, so December can be tricky, but I would have tried to make it and be a part of it. If there's ever anything in the future like that, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I think we could do some special things having both tours, for the league and the tour, and we could end up with what I keep saying is an even better product for the spectators to watch, and something very, very special. Now, you do need the smarter people behind closed doors to decide what that looks like. I don't know what the law says. I don't know what could be possible or could not be possible. But I think if they put their minds together, they can come up with something very special. And that's been my thought all along.
Yeah, I'm not against anybody, and unify and grow the game. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much I have to say. I feel like it just whatever comes that I can do to help grow the game and try to unify and have more people interested on the game. I'll be here, happy to do it and try to help out.
Take one more from Joy.
Hi guys. I wanted to ask you about the battle everyone has asked. What do you think about the battleground out there? How's the course, and how does it suit your game?
I haven't seen all 18 holes, so I can't give you a complete. I've only seen the front 9 yesterday, and I believe it was a different wind than we're going to play. It's in fantastic condition. It was, from what I hear, really firm a few days ago, and they tried to get under control yesterday. Small greens. Maybe not the longest overall, not the narrowest fairways, so it does seem like approach game is going to be very important this week. Like I said, I mean, overall, the message would be small greens are they're not flat, so they play even smaller than they are. It could be a week where, you know, if your ball striking's on and your irons are on, you could have a very low one, and the opposite, where if you're missing greens, it could be a very long week as well, right? So I think it can be deceptively difficult for people that are just looking at it on paper without seeing it in person.
Yeah, I mean, just what John said is, I feel the same way. I always like playing golf in the Northeast. I feel like they always, this time of year, have great conditions like they have here right now. So for us, obviously, there is different type of golf courses and their defense from the golf course are. For us, for me, it's always nice to play good conditions, and that's what we have this week. So yeah, whatever the challenge of the golf course brings, it will be a good challenge. And I also haven't seen the front 9 yet, so I'm pretty interested to see what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's similar to. I have kind of like an idea about seeing at the back 9, so it will be a nice challenge.
And if I can ask you guys, John, you've played I think 37 rounds on LIV Golf this season, and had just 2 rounds where you failed to break par. Joaquín, you had a 59, and I thought you had a great 6 under in UK where John was winning, and you needed to keep track of him in that tournament. Can you just both tell me about any round that really stood out for you guys during the season, or will it be a case of Sunday's round being the best round of the season? What happens?
I mean, for me, obviously the best round of the season was the 59 Mayakoba, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat that. But looking back, yeah, I mean, I had a few good finish on Sunday, which I mean, looking back to JCB where John won, I was 1 shot behind, where I was pretty far back on Sunday, and I knew I needed to do something because obviously Jon had a great chance to win, and the way he was playing, it was pretty possible to happen. So yeah, sometimes it gives some, you know, it kind of reminds you that every shot's count. I mean, you see now I'm just 3 points behind, and that's only probably one shot, you know. So yeah, it just reminds you how important it is to stay present, to, you know, to focus and give all your 100% on every shot, because you never know what it could finish. So yeah, I mean, looking back, there's a good Sunday rounds, and yeah, I feel like I had a few good finish to a few kind of poor starts on the first 2 days. So yeah, it's nice to see them, and it will be nice to start with a 59 again.
Were you asking what we think our personal best round is, or in general? Because if it's in general, it's just 59, obviously, hands down. There's no. Mine. It has to be that 8 under at JCB. I didn't expect to see a score that low on that golf course all week, to be honest, and to do it myself, I was surprised. There's been stretches. I mean, I think it was the second round at Greenbrier. I was 8 under on the last 10 holes. So that stretch of golf was pretty good. But if I had to go based on those 18 holes, yeah, I think that opening round at JCB was probably my best for the year.
Great. Thank you guys so much. I will be seeing one of you up here on Sunday after play. I can't wait to see who it's going to be. Good luck this week, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.